So welcome to Module 2 of the online Overcoming Anxiety course. In this module we'll cover the therapies available. There are a number of therapies available now for various mental health illnesses. As more people are suffering from anxiety disorders, there is more help readily available. However, as anxiety originated from how your brain perceives something, most help revolves around talking therapies. This module will outline various therapies that have been proven to help with anxiety. That isn't to say that it's going to work for everybody, but many people have benefited from these forms of help. CBT is short for cognitive behavioral therapy. This approach was developed by Aaron Beck and is designed to help people understand how their maladaptive thinking may be affecting their behaviors. The whole principle of CBT is that our thoughts affect our circumstances and not the external event. Our thoughts will not influence our surroundings, it will just change how we view it and how we feel about it. This type of therapy is designed to help a person overcome their difficulty, such as anxiety, by identifying their negative thinking or behaviour patterns and changing them into a more positive one. Its aim is to provide a person with the ability to adopt a more positive and empowering belief to replace the negative ones. It's a very practical and goal-orientated approach which can often produce very fast results. It involves a person thoroughly analysing their thoughts and behaviours and then regularly challenging them. This may sometimes be through worksheets where they can explore the session topic further, or it may be through applying their new skills in a practical environment. Counselling is a very common therapy for those suffering with anxiety. A counsellor is a trained professional who helps others understand, accept, and express their feelings through guided sessions. Counsellors are not people who give advice, but they guide a person to understand themselves better and find their own solutions through thought-provoking questions. Anxiety can often stem through some kind of event in your life, whether it be the death of a loved one, an accident, or a huge lifestyle change. These big changes, which may come about unexpectedly, can cause a person to become more anxious in general life as they don't feel secure. This is where counselling comes in. A counsellor is able to help you uncover thoughts you may not realise you have. It can also help you overcome the emotional barrier that event created. By understanding and fully expressing emotions that you may not have been able to at the time, you feel liberated. By dealing with that traumatic event and putting it behind you, you can move forward with your life, and then the anxiety will often diminish substantially. Some people are genuinely anxious without a particular event triggering it. Counsellors can still provide support and help you understand your anxiety better. They can help you recognise what areas you struggle in, why you struggle there, and they can also help guide you to find solutions for yourself. Seeing a counsellor gives you a safe space where you can express yourself fully with no judgment. Often people with anxiety fear judgment from others, and you learn to close yourself off with time. Blocking things out can slow down, or in fact it can be detrimental to your recovery. When you are provided with a safe space, you can understand your challenges better. In general, when people have regular sessions, they are more motivated to keep trying new things and progressing so they can discuss it with their counsellor. The negatives of counselling are few, but often involves a connection between client and counsellor. If a person doesn't fully trust their counsellor or doesn't connect well, that compromises the process, which in turn inhibits the person overcoming the challenges they face. The counsellor's own experience will affect how they help others. If they aren't very experienced in anxiety, then it may feel as though they don't ask the right questions and no solutions can be found. It's important to remember that counsellors aren't advisors, meaning that the process should not be harmful. The only real negative is that it may not actually be helpful. Mindfulness is a technique that originated from Buddhism. Being mindful effectively means being more aware of your surroundings and the present rather than living inside our head. Mindfulness is used by many people who struggle with anxiety, stress, and depression, as it creates a shift in the way you view the world. Often anxiety can come from worries we have about things that can happen, not worries about things that are actually happening right then and there. Because of this, mindfulness has proven to help a number of people who struggle with anxiety. Mindfulness is a skill that has to be gained gradually through practice. There are a number of exercises available online that help train you to empty your thoughts and keep your mind empty. The exercises start by teaching you to close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Anytime your mind wanders, you bring it back to focus on your breathing. Within mindfulness, there is also a technique called grounding, which teaches you to put your awareness on your surroundings, not on how you're feeling. Mindfulness is a fantastic tool that enables you to feel at peace no matter where you are physically. It means that you should be able to focus on what is going on in present time and not the other elements of life that may cause stress and anxiety. The only real negative accompanied with mindfulness is the amount of time it takes to develop it to the point that you do not feel anxious anymore. It also does not necessarily overcome anxiety disorders, as the trigger for anxiety may not necessarily be a thought, and it may be to do with a particular surrounding. Nevertheless, it can help diminish anxiety at least a little bit. Medication is a sought-after treatment to anxiety, as it seems like a quick fix. There are a number of prescription medications that are available for anxiety, but they often come with serious side effects. The common ones that are thought not to have bad side effects are not long-term, meaning that once you stop taking them, the anxiety will return to the same level again. Medication usually does not get rid of anxiety completely, no matter how strong. Remember, anxiety is caused by your brain perceiving a danger, so it will do anything in its power to get you to safety, even if medicated or sedated. Most medication can make people feel less anxious as it's mood altering, or it blocks certain signals which are thought to cause anxiety. These often help people with low-level anxiety, but the side effects experienced are similar. There are a few different types of anxiety medication, as outlined here. We have beta blockers, and these reduce the effects of the stress hormone noradrenaline, which is designed to increase your heart rate to prepare your body for the fight or flight. By blocking that, it's thought to reduce the physical symptoms of anxiety. We have antidepressants. There are a few different types of antidepressants used. There are SSRIs, SNRIs, and TCAs. Serotonin is a complex neurotransmitter, but it's often recognized as a contributor to that happy feeling. SSRIs are designed to stop the nerve cells in the brain reabsorbing the serotonin, meaning that more is available to pass further messages between cells. SNRIs work in a similar way, but with no adrenaline. TCAs are designed to make more serotonin and adrenaline readily available. However, this type of antidepressant is considered more dangerous as there are more serious side effects. Sedatives. These are the types of medication that are designed to help muscles relax and slow down the body's functions. They work by increasing the effects of gamma-aminobutyric acid, which is responsible for rational thought, memory, emotions, and basic functions. They can be helpful for severe anxiety in the short term, but should not be taken longer than 4 weeks. With this type of medication, your body adjusts over time, meaning that you need more of it to get the same result you had in the beginning. All medication should be considered seriously before taking it, as it can have a more negative effect than a positive one. The other point to consider is that none of them are long-term and don't solve the cause of the problem. They just make an effect on the physical symptoms that follow. You also have support groups. Anxiety is affecting more and more people, so support groups are now being created to provide people with a safe space to find help in overcoming anxiety. It is another form of talking therapy, as people can share their experiences with one another as well as tips in dealing with it. Support groups provide the opportunity to meet like-minded people who understand exactly what you're dealing with. It can also be a good opportunity to practice challenging your anxiety without any real pressure. By attending sessions regularly, people tend to be more motivated in challenging their anxiety and overcoming obstacles so that they have positive news to report back to the group. Self-help books have existed for a long, long time. They span over many topics including health, spirituality, success, addiction, and many more. Self-help books often provide people with the motivation they need to overcome any obstacles that they're facing in life. Sometimes they're more informative, and other times they can be more practical. In recent years, there's been a substantial increase in the number of anxiety self-help books available. There are a few books that offer a deeper insight into anxiety, and there are some that concentrate on offering you practical advice. The ones with practical advice appear to be more popular as people suffering with anxiety want to find a way to get rid of it. Self-help books are great at providing motivation and knowledge, but it requires hard work from the participants. Success can only come from that self-help book if a person works on each stage as outlined in the books. As each person is different, it means that there is no book that will work for every single person. These are some self-help books that I've read and I'd personally recommend. Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, Controlling Stress, and The Power of Now. So in conclusion, there are a number of therapies available to assist with overcoming anxiety, but there is no quick fix. Every long-term therapy involves the person suffering with anxiety to do the majority of hard work. They can just be provided with the knowledge and tools they need. There are short-term fixes like medication that can help with anxiety, but they only tackle the physical symptoms, not the cause. Not only that, but they come with a large number of possible side effects. It's important when trying out therapies to see what feels best for you. There is no right or wrong in this instance. The therapies that seem to help most with anxiety are talking therapies, but this means that the connection between therapist and the client needs to be full of trust. If, for example, you have a counselling session that doesn't go well or you feel no benefit, it may be worth trying a different counsellor rather than concluding that counselling hasn't worked for you. Thank you for listening, and the tasks for this module are available to download from the website. Join me next time for Module 3.